Yeah, I moved this last month, so yeah, very painful. So tonight, what are they?
We'll lift it up just for hair.
I want a bed though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I want a blow.
Karen Melander Dragoon has walked in. Just make sure I got that name out the end of there.
What are they? An Acriterium transformer windspun. The demon points, but does not decree.
Nice.
Thanks.
Oh, wait a minute. Do that again. No, the people are saying repeat. Can you do it again?
Repeat. I want to repeat this.
It's so hard. Well, all right. Well, people wanted to hear more. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So when you come back, you have to do that with all else. Thank you. Philip Zimmerman. All right. And now, a well-regarded poet here, Philip Zimmerman is. So, all right. Clara Sue, you are next. She's coming up here. Then we have Lane, Parker, Nick, Karen, and then Jimmy. Now, no one else signed in on the open except for Nick, so if there's anybody here who didn't sign in, you should have signed in, or you can let me know, or wave at me, or throw something at him. And we'll, take that into consideration.
Okay. So this one is for Dave. Your theme.
Oh, thank you.
One more.
One more.
It's footboard. Footboard, dumb end of a splendid beginning, where headboard rises like the back of a throne. Footboard smells feet, takes blows from long legs. What lore to pass on when the end is blunt? What measure to take when all is measured? The bed is dressed, the man is asleep. Full ball, footboard, sits, no, stands, no, squeeze between two posts, full Monty.
Hey, we got to tell you she's genteel.
Twilight. Looking about, the sky has turned down a notch. Within seconds, the day is gone. People always asked how my father is doing. I answered, the sky is still glorious with the ever-changing light. Wonder if there is such a thing as permanence from a near-sighted point of view. Polluted air makes the best sunset. Will the ground disappear when night comes? When rain comes, beating down with their little mallets in the flash of lightning.
Wow.
Okay. So this last piece was written by me and Jack Foley. We were doing a call and response.
Jack Foley from
He came up with Anne Boleyn. I came up with the green-eyed llama. So this is the story of Anne Boleyn and the green-eyed llama. Anne Boleyn laid in the dungeon, waiting for the axe to fall. There came an apparition against the farthest wall. It was the green-eyed llama, who faced her with a grin. Give over your religion. There's no such thing as sin. Move over, you Lorito. How dare you lecture me? You know I'm in the tower. I still have eyes to see. Your dirty robe, your foreign look, and skin as brown as donkey. You have your beads, I have my book. You'll never be a honky. You're just a thing that I made up. You are but an apparition, the sort of thing that someone sees when placed in my condition. But I am Christian through and through. I am not dumb or blind. Though eftsoons I must lose my head, I shall not lose my mind. The green-eyed llama made a move. He claps his hands together. All of a sudden, the walls collapsed. My God, they were freed forever! Anne Boleyn gave a great big howl and screamed with sheer delight. She rushed about the verdant hills like a headless bird in flight. The moral of this simple tale: in imagination trust, or at any rate, don't lose your head unless you absolutely must.
Yeah, unless you absolutely must now. How many times has that happened in your life, I ask you? All right. Thank you so much. Now, Mr. Lane Parker, will you kindly step forward, please? And give him a really good... This is your first time here, right?
Yes.
Yes, it is the first time. We haven't seen these people. Pounding on the table, pounding the tables, and all like that. Okay.
Yes, I mean, I've been here before, but it's my first time actually
Yes,
at the mic,
that's
so
what I
please
meant.
be gentle.
Yes. Okay. Yes, yes, come forward. And hold forth.
Okay, well, next time, well, I just should have gotten here a lot earlier so I could go on before Diamond Dave. But that was great to hear him, and thank you. And I'm going to dedicate, I just got a couple of, they're called haibun. And so that's kind of a short prose piece with a haiku linked to it.
Sure.
And I'd like to, I guess, dedicate these to Diamond Dave. And
Everybody.
the haiku is not going to be 575, so if you count the syllables, it's not going to work out for you. It's a kind of a more American, modern haiku. And I title these. This first one's called Arrangements. It's February 1945. My great uncle Paul has been in Belgium fighting the Germans. His younger brother Robert, my grandfather, has been back east going through officers training. Robert arrives in Los Angeles on leave. He enters his mother's house, looks around the usually austere, practical living room, sees the flower arrangements. He grins quizzically and says, "Who died?" Hometown, orange groves and loam paved over. This is called tension. My grandfather wants a glass of milk with his meal. I go to the fridge and empty the carton, topping off a tall glass. Only surface tension in my steady hand keep the milk from spilling. So the glass is a little full. Big deal. I'll be leaving home before too long. My grandfather is a recovering alcoholic. It's another Thanksgiving. Just get the old man his drink. He thanks me as I place the glass in front of him. Soon I watch him raise his glass for the first time. His hand trembles. Milk dribbles onto the tablecloth, onto his shirt, onto his chin. He drinks, then puts the glass down. I wait for something. Anything. He smiles and says, "Nothing." Family reunion, old grass stains on clean clothes.
Okay, nice.
And this is called Remains. These days, the Sutro Baths is part attraction and part aftermath. The remains lie in northwest San Francisco at Land's End, where waves dissolve against a fortified seawall that protects a peaceful lagoon on the other side. When the baths opened in 1896, the enclosed pools were the largest in the world. But the world changed, and by 1966, few people were enjoying even the converted ice skating rink. That year, demolition crews were tearing everything down when a mysterious fire helped them along. Now only the remains remain. Because of what it was and because of what it is, people are drawn to it, drawn to Kerouac's end of land sadness, end of the world gladness. People are coming together here and people are breaking up. And everyone is treading concrete lines between waters turbulent and calm. Bathhouse ruins, mallards rest in the shallows at sunset. This last is called Pulse. The image on the monitor looks both aquatic and celestial. Within the blackness, gray and white shapes appear and shift as the nurse moves the wand over my wife's abdomen. Then, even before the nurse points it out, I can see it, the faint flicker on the screen that shows the beating heart. That's all we can see so early on, just a pulse of light in the darkness, like the North Star shimmering through the Earth's atmosphere. Though cold-looking, the image on the monitor is fitting. Our baby, the same as everything else on Earth, has come from stardust, and she will spend the next 9 months in a fluid made mostly of water. I watched the monitor, awestruck. I will never again look at stars the same way. And just as I know that I can't stand here and watch forever this gentle flickering, still I wish I could. Bathing the beat of my heart from a far-off place. Thank you.
Thank you. Wayne Parker, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir. Wayne, thank you. I really appreciate the hyben. I haven't heard those in a long time.
Thank you
Very nice. It's a nice form, folks. All right. Nick, we know you're here. Come on up. Give him a nice, real good round. I think this might be his first time here in a while. Thank you, Mr. David. I like the way this guy just jumps in and takes care of business.
Man of control.
Man of control. Thank you. Walk like an Egyptian. All right. Thank you.
Salty linens creak under Zimmerman, laying before me sadly, olive-skinned, beautiful, knowing eyes. She knows me, but not how come. Everything here is stiff or sandy. We were lucky to get out of the city for a while. Misty ocean air costs extra, though the sun can't get through it. Without its living glare, I'm too pale to see this through. She sees me now. I can't hide further. Fear holds me up, duty-free. Wonders why I don't struggle. Or was there ever an even fight? How can anyone live on such meager rations? Knock a near empty water glass onto its side. It rolls back and forth on top of our wobbly bedside table, tracing itself with wet, gentle beads. Alone, she takes this emptied out sorrow upon herself and leaves me to serve out my sentence. Thanks.
Nicely done. Good to hear new work. Thank you. All right. Now, before we get to our mini, we have Karen Melander Magoon coming up, and then we have Jimmy Mankind, the mini feature of the evening. So, Karen, kindly step forth.
I made it. Jimmy,
Give her an
I
hand,
made
please.
I'm so glad I heard you. I mean, I missed Diamond. I missed a lot. I know, but
Here you are.
that's my
But
life.
you're here.
Okay, that's my life. All right. Full bore, far bore, 4 bears. Pause. Okay. Tomorrow from 12 to 1, there will be a demonstration in front of Feinstein's office against the TPP. So quash the TPP rally. Trans-Pacific Partnership rings and sings like community, family, global peace, friendship, love, mutuality. Fascism clothed in the robes of democracy, corporate hegemony painted with the brush of partnership, slave labor overseas disguised as jobs for all, rights for banks to write their rules, developers to ignore the environment, governments to sneeze at climate change, industries to muzzle invention, Trans-Pacific Partnership, singing a smug song of support for the citizens of the world, singing a song of a new world order, a new and better WTO.
That's right.
a World Trade Organization with sharper teeth and stronger jaws, foaming and open mouth, prepared to swallow a tender, pulsing world in a feeding frenzy.
Oh, no, he had good.
Thank you.
I love romantic poems.
Yeah, that's pretty romantic. We pay. Coal kills. Mining accidents and rain, greenhouse gases, asthma-inducing particulates, and radioactivity. Radioactive coal ash permeates our planet. Coal releases uranium and thorium burned into fly ash. Radioactive coal ash permeates, leaches, soaks into soil and water, creeps into vegetables and people. People near coal plants are exposed to 100% more radiation than those living under the shadow of nuclear power plants. Their bones show greater radiation. Children pay a price for electricity from coal. We all pay a price for energy, a price our children pay. Fukushima or fly ash exact a price we are still willing to pay. We stand in line to pay. We burn coal and pay. With our health, we pay. With the future of our children,
we pay.
Thank you. Okay, I'll do something later. You throw me out in a minute. The cat holds court. The cat is aloof, yet holds court with two large dogs who by turns ignore her, yet circle the room in endless new patterns, in random choreography, arguably aloof themselves, yet always aware of the cat, made almost entirely of fluff, who holds court over two large dogs. And I would like to, this is at the State of the Union address in January. There was an empty seat. You may be aware of that. The empty seat. It is January 2016. Obama's State of the Union address. The audience is wrapped, overcrowded. One seat sits empty next to First Lady Michelle. An empty seat for every child killed by violence in the United States. The seat is really for Hadiyah Pendleton, but also for all like her, killed as youngsters by guns. 7,000 children hospitalized or killed by violence last year, far more than those killed on our roads and highways. And yet, we cannot legislate against firearms. We cannot ban guns in social settings and schools. There are more guns than people in the United States, and guns do kill in the hands of people. Children do die, and seats do remain empty for those we love.
Beautiful. There you go. Thank you, Karen, the land of the groom. Fabuloso. All right. And now, Jimmy Mankind, our mini of the evening. He's going to tell you about him in a moment. You'll hear everything he has to say. So, but I would like to add that after this, we'll take care of the door prizes, the final act of the evening, and if you haven't had a chance to read, I will ask anybody after him to see if that is possible. So, give him a nice round of applause while he comes up here and regales us completely.
How to believe in yourself when you have nothing to believe in. 1, just do it anyway. 2, be about non-belief. 3, tell this story. 4, do not walk tall, crawl. 5, one step well stepped every day. And 6, agree to learn the hard way.
instructions.
I long for this country to slow down and smell the roses. I've cried for this national republic to get real and drop the poses. So sad to say. Oh yeah, so sad to say, the daughters of the revolution done found work as ho-hos, and them boys, such as they say, them be nothing but hoses. Our streets are safe, our laws intact, our schools and our inventions prepared for you to prosper. But this .gov is for the broken, failed, worn out, wounded in heart, mind, and spirit, and the sons and daughters of the lowly wage slaves and workers upon whose shoulders you stand today. Yeah, America is based on slavery. Yes, of course, you call it cheap labor. But capitalism is founded upon money, and the only money back then was held by monarchies, all of it. Those who borrowed best, first, and most won. Of course, to whom were they indebted? The same old with new clothes. That's why when Lincoln refused to borrow for the war, he simply printed money, supported by the blood, sweat, and tears of the soldiers and their families, and not by debt to bankers. So they killed him. War on land is over. War is now to be run by computers that smash economic systems. Hackers are the new fighter pilots. Terrorism cannot win a war. It can only destroy and kill. It never builds. It cannot occupy very long. The Saudis supply their madrasa terrorists to ISIS. As long as we buy their oil and they take our oil money and use it to purchase weapons and bullets from us at about $1.50 a bullet. Fired at 120 per minute, that's $180 a minute. And we use ISIS as our very own terrorism corporal. The U.S. core de terrorism.
All right.
Prosperity is the big victim of war on terrorism. Peace, says the NRA, can only be obtained when everyone has their very own suicide vest. Refugees would be refugees would become the new secret weapons of this economic war, just as their hunger creates austerity wherever they go. ISIS is the U.S. Foreign Legion. Obama waived the old rule of never lending into others' wars. But now we're back. We back both sides in order to foreclose on the assets of the winner. We really hope that the war we finance costs less than the value of the whole country where it's fought. Old Rothschild trick. He was the first in London to know that Wellington won at Waterloo, and that started one of their great fortunes. There were 5 guys that each led a central bank. They were all brothers. Our national debt means giving up your any national debt means giving up your islands, ports, waters, sewer, telecom, and power grid, plus museums, news outlets, TV, radio, airports, and buses, underground railroad, and it makes freeways into toll roads, the way Chicago sold its parking meters for $3.2 billion to the king and his friends of Dubai, who immediately changed the hours of operation from 9 to 6 to 9, and the hourly rate from $1.35 to $4.50 an hour.
Sure.
Holy Mexico. Mexico is a toll road. Has a toll road. No more donkeys. Where's the tourist appeal in that? Go to Holy Mexico. Mexico must think the roads are for car owners. Donkeys watching cars go by at 75 to 90 miles an hour, one about every 3 minutes, like a breeze. We made a treaty with Mexico to help bring them into the fast lane, and now we approach them in unemployment and poverty. Their elites even step over the bodies better than ours do. It's just about private schools and no school for their future. And the children are the future. That's what the PRI has all over the hillsides. And that's how elites everywhere want it. So that explains the 43 dead school teachers down on, I think it was Guerrero. They don't care about the public system. Going on. Entering Holy Mexico, not even a stop sign. You go in, the sign says entry stop 10 miles. Entrada Oficial Estado de Sonora, Mexico. The Department of Interior, Distrito Federal. Por la gracia de Dios. $10 per auto general y for you gringo angels who are bringing down your dollars. We love you. It says something like that. Holy Mexico, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Everyone's getting laid right here before your whole nation. The children are the future of Mexico, and everybody has one. And when they do, they call it embarrassed. Not to mention, on this planet, the children are also the living victims. And they're increasing at about 3% a year. But God says, thou shalt not use a condom in Mexico. They cost too much for the poor anyway. And every kid you have improves your retirement and Social Security. So it's kids or condoms. And they cost about the same. Each day, yeah. So the kids, you shall always have with you. And babies are the Social Security of Mexico. That's what I found out. Okay, this is a new poem. There is a gene, maybe the one that makes us smile, cry, or laugh. Maybe it makes us fall in love or love our child. It makes us need. It's the nice or not so nice gene. It's in every being. It makes flies like to be flies and to enjoy their speedy flight with 6 legs, their diet of mostly shit. Although their pride of flying crashes upon our pride of humanness unless we're too drunk or dead. Horses swat them with their tails. Flies have no tails. Flies have a mouth like a tube, capable of sucking up liquid only. Flies cannot chew, so don't worry about that. But their genes are transmittable to a human or a horse. You can make any animal, in fact, glad to be a fly, or a duck, or a bird. But some, like the horse, might adapt better as walking birds than flying ones, in spite of the old mobile logo. It's called the happiness gene. And they say the Danes are the happiest, except for what the Nazis did to them, I bet. The next big thing, is it over?
Yeah,
Okay, that's it. It's the whole
No,
page.
finish.
Oh, okay. So get to what's stopping from.
It would be the whole page.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, give him a round of
That's all
applause.
right.
Give him a round That was a lot of new work. That was all new work, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Mostly in the last couple of days.
Hot off the presses. So now
We take to the closing portion of the evening. If you signed in, that means there was a number next to your name, and that card was number, which I've been shuffling. But
make sure you know that I know that you know I know you know that I know you know. This person is going to shuffle them just a little bit more, because I've been sitting there going like this. But people say, how come that person won? They won last week. And I go, see? Thank you. All right, so if, let me just go over them. There are several books here. Pluto. This is great. If you ever want to have a really quick overview of 9/11 and all the various things that happened, it's a great cartoon. I love it. Friends Well Met and More by Tom Odegaard. Carl Wiener's Daydream. Love Grounds and Coffee Poems by Deborah Bauer. And then The Season of Oblivion by Stephen P. Mackin. Then, of course, if you don't like those, if you come next week, you can have The Last Word. Take the mini feature, which was amply demonstrated by Jimmy over here. You can choose next week's theme, or be the keynote, which is the first person up on the mic and they read a poem by someone else, and then they can also participate in the opening. So now that that's all done, we've reminded everybody of everything. May I have a drum roll, please? I'd like to sing ovation. All right. Mr. Philip Zimmerman, you are the first winner of the evening.
Hey.
Your pleasure is our pleasure.
9/11
Within limits.
conspiracy.
Oh, he goes to the 9/11.
How you doing?
I knew that was going to be.
I don't know why I knew it.
It's just, we were on the same wavelength. Drum roll. Thank you. Lane Parker.
Oh,
Lane Parker, a winner
did I
to the
do?
winner's circle,
what did I do
please.
wrong?
The FBI want to talk to you.
One of these fabulous prizes are yours.
Oh, I won something.
Oh, yes, you did.
Right.
So there are 5 books here, or if you're going to come next week, you can choose one of these things.
Those sound iffy. So
Okay.
They are.
There you go. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Give him a round. I like that guy. I want him to come back. Buford has next departed. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Buford. No, he hasn't passed. He just left the building.
He does love him.
I'm always
Mr. Diamond Dave, are you still here?
Yes, Mr. Davis probably outside smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, he's outside.
Okay, well, would someone step out and let him know he won something? If you'd like to come back,
Yeah, if he's
take care of
out
that.
there.
I'll keep the feature card here. Richard Sanderell, would you kindly take one of these fine prizes?
Good week.
That's
Best word. Actually,
Best
word. Space there between these. The dance was the dance from the table.
Yes, Mr. Dave.
No.
So
You have to
one
pick
of
a
these,
book.
one of these fine books are yours. Or if you want to come back next week, there's other things, other options.
Wins the prize. Diamond Dave takes the book.
Diamond Dave.
That's immaculate.
Where? The next war you
How high hangs the plate of cloud, how quickly does it stick up in the air, pressing upon the atmosphere. So thickens air in the syrup in the lung, and bending the light into the eye, so color is twisted into gray, and that's okay. Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you. All right, Diamond Dave
Carol
again.
Wiener guy.
Yeah, it sounds like he's.
His name sounds
You probably heard it, yeah.
Your brother.
You know, I don't need any other books, I'm gonna pass on that, and I guess maybe I'll do the,
All right. Thank you. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Number 9. Mr. Al Nightingale. Gone.
I'm just hoping to go right on.
Clara.
Hey, stop facing paper.
Louis.
I'm set.
Jimmy.
No, yes.
Jimmy. Jimmy. You're a winner.
I'll take that thing. I'll do it again.
Okay. Manny?
Yeah, I'm good.
Mankind. Ace the Minnie. Mr. David Ernderreich.
I'll do the theme again.
What's the theme?
The theme is in a similar vein.
That's it. In a similar vein.
In a similar vein. V-A-N-E-V-E-I-N.
Oh, not that again.
Yeah, that again.
All right. Vein.
Oh, vein.
V-A-N-E.
V-A-I-N. And what's the other one? V-A-I-N and V-E-I-N.
The old line was hoping to get another. V-A-I-N-V-E-I-N, V-A-N-E.
Yeah. Okay.
Similar vein.
Thank you. You're welcome. And Owen, would you like a book?